Okay, so let's get that straight, because I don't want any confusion. So here Marie is, and here she is, and I'm going to ask her to close her eyes. So Marie, if you'll close your eyes, and I want you to put your hands behind your back, because I want you to feel very vulnerable. Now, Lori, I'm going to ask you if you would be partners with Sandra, and Pam, I'm going to ask you if you'll be partnered with Sheila. So if you'll stand up just like what Marie's doing. And y'all can talk, share. Okay, so go ahead and decide who has dementia and who does not have dementia.
You got it.
So Sandra, you got it. Okay, so the one that has dementia, I want you to put your hands behind your back and I want you to close your eyes. Okay, now don't open your eyes. Don't open your eyes, those living with dementia. Now I want you, the caregiver, to do what I'm doing. Keep your eyes shut. Get down, get into some. Okay. Now open up your eyes. Okay, let's have a seat. Let's have a seat. So those of you that were living with dementia, how did it feel when you were standing there with your eyes closed and your hands behind your back? I want to hear how did it make you feel?
It felt creepy.
It felt creepy. It felt creepy.
Uncomfortable. I felt like somebody trying to do something to me I didn't want them to do.
So it felt creepy. You felt uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Sheila?
You just didn't know what was going to happen, and you felt vulnerable because you didn't know what to expect.
You didn't know what to expect. So you felt creepy, you felt uncomfortable, and you felt vulnerable. How did it feel the caregivers that were touching? How did it make you guys feel? Touching a person and they don't know where you're touching her.
Well, you might get slapped.
That's right.
Or anything, because you just don't know. Like, I didn't expect her to jump, but she did. So I'm glad she just jumped. But she could have hit me.
She could have hit you. Yes. I know Marie tried to hit me. And you pushed me. Yes, you pushed me. Lori?
Well, we were kind of playing, but if it was a real situation, I wouldn't want to make her feel uncomfortable like that. You know, I mean, you don't want to make someone feel uncomfortable by touching them. So that would be what I would say.
Yes. Well, because you couldn't see, they didn't know where you were going to touch, they didn't comprehend it, they didn't understand, and you felt like you were being kind of having your way with them because you were touching where and it was uncomfortable. You know, back to the 5 ways: what you see, what you hear, what you do, what you touch. You think about in those 5 ways that the human brain takes in data. A lot of times as caregivers, we want to have diarrhea of the mouth. Blah, 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 blah. And that's pretty much what they're hearing as the disease progresses. They don't understand that. They can't. We want to just talk and talk and talk and talk. But if we show them what we're going to do, remember, visual is primary. So I'm going to have Marie, since she's going to be my little actress today. And so this is we're going to be talking without words. So here is Marie, and I come up. What's the first thing when you're greeting someone as a general way or common way when you're going to shake hands with someone? So you're going to shake hands, but I'm going to take her hand like this. This is called hand under hand. So again, let me show you. Here's Marie. I'm reaching out my hand, and you just kind of make, it's almost like you make a butterfly, you know? And I'm going to leave, her hands are still free. My hands are still free. I'm going to hold on to her. I'm supporting her, and she's connected to me. Another thing is this part of the palm is a sensory area. is very complex. I mean, we are amazing. Our brain is amazing. Our bodies are amazing. This sensory area here, this pad on our hand, it is a comfort. It's very sensitive because if we didn't have that, we could hold on to a bottle and we would crush it. It just gives us that sense of how much pressure to give. So when I take Marie's hand, like this, hand under hand, now she feels connected to me. I'm going to put that part of my palm on her shoulder, on her joint. That gives her a comfort. Now, when you're dealing with a person living with Alzheimer's or any type of dementia, when I do this, a lot of times they might get distracted. They're going to remember what you see, what you hear, what they hear, they're going to automatically look. So if she drifts off and looks away, I'm going to just give it a little pump. She's going to automatically look back at me and divert or redirect her attention to me. So this hand under hand is a very, very unique skill to learn if you're living with a person, or dealing with a person or caring for a person living with dementia. So here we are, and now, see, we're talking without words. Because I'm showing her what I'm going to do. I'm going to fix her hair. She was going to let me fix her hair because I showed her. She had something on her pants. I pointed to my pants. She's going to look at my pants. And she's connected to me. And so it's like I am showing her what I'm going to do. I'm telling her what I'm going to do without words. This is just a great technique, and it was created by Teepa Snow. It's called hand under hand. I'm able to do with her rather than doing to her. So I'd like for all of y'all to stand up now with your partners. Now, you don't have to marry each other or go on a date. And if you want to switch partners, you can. I'd like for you to try this technique. Remember, it is my right hand to her left hand, or left to left or right to right. You don't stand in front. That's another thing. If I'm standing in front, once you do this, shake, I will automatically stand to her side. Here, let me help you. Let me see if I can help. So Sheila's standing here. Pam, Sheila's standing here. I'm going to reach out. So you look at this and you think, when a person living with dementia, what if I do something that aggravates them, like she's going to hit me? Here you go. This is kind of like a barrier or protection. You can redirect them. It's almost like a rudder. So so try it again. How are y'all doing? Yes. Good. So kind of y'all got the feel of things. That's great. So now switch roles. Switch places. So the other person can, just like Pam and, switch roles, switch around. You're going to be where Lori's standing, and Lori's going to be where you're standing.
We got to literally.
Literally switch around. Just like you're going to shake hand. You made like a butterfly. Now, Sandra, think about what you're doing. If she's living with dementia and you're standing right there in front of her, how does that going to make her feel? How does it make you feel with her standing right in front of you, Marie?
If I have to
confrontational?
Revert back.
Step to the side. When you step to the side, it makes you, you're connected, you're there to support, you're not over them. Okay, if you guys have a seat, and share with me, tell me the difference when if you'll have a seat, Marie. Tell me the difference when you are doing the hand under hand, you see that you're doing with that person, you're not doing to them, You're showing them what you're going to do. You're telling them, well, we were speaking with words, but you can tell them what you're going to do. And then, and only then, when you show them, when you tell them, then only then do you have permission to touch. Because if I went to touch Marie without her knowing it, what's going to happen? It's going to go badly. What you see, what you tell them or show them, what you tell them, what they hear, and only then do you have permission to touch. And Teepa Snow says it's going to go badly if you touch before you give them a visual cue and before you give them a verbal cue. Let me show you, Marie, I'm going to have you come up here again too. Let's say, and this is hand under hand, hand under hand. Let's say Marie's there. I'm going to always, you know, when your visual field, as you're aging, our visual field gets smaller. Well, when you're living with dementia, it gets smaller. I'm always going to let her see me before I approach her. I'm not going to approach her from the back. I'm going to startle her. Or I'm not going to come up behind her and go, hey, Marie, how are you today? She's going to do exactly what she just did. But if I always approach a person living with dementia from the front. You have to respect their personal space. My personal space is this is about 3 feet. Her personal space is 3 feet. So this is about 6 feet. Before I approach her, I'm going to stop at 6 feet. Hey, Marie. Hey, it's Lisa. Because if you're a professional caregiver, you're going to have your name tag on. If I'm not, I'm going, hey, Marie, it's Lisa. Hey, I'm going to hold my hand out. What is an automatic? Generally, people shake hands. She's going to hold her hand out. I'm going to walk up. I'm going to stand to the side, and I have her right here. Now, and I'm going to smile, and I'm going to have a good tone, a gentle tone. Not aggressive. Let me show you what aggressive would be. Marie, if you'll have a seat in this chair. Excuse me. Let's say Marie's my mom. Mama, did you take your medicine today? Did you take it? I have put it right there on the table. Have you taken it today?
Ain't your mama?
Marie, Mama, I cannot believe you're acting like this. I'm doing this for your own good. How is she going to respond to that? How did that make you feel, Marie?
Made me feel like you were bossing me, letting me know that I didn't know nothing.
Right.
I feel like I don't know.
I made her feel like I was bossing you, and I made you feel
Like I didn't have it I didn't have any independence that I was just blah.
you were just blah.
Yeah.
So I want you to try this right now. I want the person living with dementia, your same partners, whoever has dementia, I want the caregiver to stand above you or in front of you. So if you guys do that now, and just stand there with your arms crossed, and repeat after me. I love you. Repeat after me. I love you. I'm doing this for your own good.
I'm doing this for your own good.
Why are you acting like this to me?
So why are you acting like this to me?
Okay, just have a seat.
It don't work.
So tell me now, Sheila and Sandra, how did that make you feel when your caregivers were standing there saying that to you? How did it make you feel?
It felt like a person. It felt like I was a child or something, and they were telling me what to do, but yet I'm older than they are.
So it made you feel like you were a child. It made you feel like you didn't know what to do. And you said something that was very interesting. You said that you, in your mind, you know that you're older than Lori, and you felt like
they're telling me what to do.
Yeah.
Or a younger person
Uh-huh.
may not know that that's my child, really. But
Sheila, how did you feel?
well, it made me feel sad because I'm thinking, well, what did I do wrong? I don't understand what I did wrong. I don't understand, you know. makes you feel vulnerable and
Makes you
sad.
vulnerable, sad. And that confrontational, being over someone, pointing that
Makes
finger
you
with your
scared.
arms crossed,
It
yes.
makes you be scared.
But then I want to hear from you caregivers. How did it make you feel doing that or saying those things to the person you're giving care to? How did it make you feel?
I feel bad about it. I mean,
Well, I tell you, when I'm here, Marie, we're such good friends, but when I'm standing here with my arms crossed to Marie, it made me feel bad that I was saying those things to her. It made me feel, you know, I love her, but I wasn't showing it in my actions. It made me feel bad that I was saying those things. So when you get a good idea or a good thought of how it feels when you're dealing or working with a person or caring for a person living with dementia, you have to be very mindful of not making them feel less than, not making them feel as a child. And Sheila, you said vulnerable, not making them feel vulnerable. So when we learn this technique, hand under hand, Marie's sitting there, she's my mother, and I'm going to say, hey, Mom, good morning. I'm going to walk to her, and I'm going to get to her side, and I'm going to get down to her level. And so that makes such a big difference. Let's stop right now and just take a quick break, and we're going to practice some more.